last time we left the crew of the Actium, you guys had infiltrated a science base, had killed all of security members. Peirce had got himself knocked out while swinging his hammer. But they pinned the scientists into a room and negotiated for the scientists to get out because one of the security guards managed to trip a self-destruct mechanism. So it ended with all of these scientists getting out, getting into the Actium and escaping just as the base exploded, and barely escaping the crew and the scientists barely escaping this massive explosion. So now we open with the ship still, well, no, it was slowing down from after hurtling away from this explosion, and Haven, or sorry, I keep saying that. Peirce is in the medical bay, and you've got a hold full of scientists who probably have something wrong with them because they've tried to kill you several times, without any They don't have any training. They just, as Cass described it, it's like a slap fight. They're not very good at doing what they do, attacking, but there's like a lot more of them than you. So
they're enthusiastic.
Yeah,
very. So now I want to ask real quick. So after all the flying and stuff, how am I being a belter? I mean, like, am I okay?
What is? You gave me a constitution check, so you're fine for now. It was a short burn. Extended burns, you're going to feel fatigue from the burn. You do it faster than everybody else too, because being a belter. But
right,
Mark only did the burn far enough to get away from the blast radius. So, other than that, what do you guys want to do? You've got a hold full of scientists, and Peirce is in the med bay.
Well, I'm a little concerned about the ship that's out there, seeing this explosion coming this way, probably guessing.
Okay.
So we're, as soon as we're just outside that debris field, we're shutting down and drifting with the debris.
Okay. Give me a piloting check for that one.
That was a destroyer, right?
Yeah,
like a UN destroyer.
UN destroyer in the distance.
Right.
Okay. So you're able to shut down and just tumble with the debris as it's expanding out, but it also means you can't see anything. Like the systems are like life support's up, but you don't have any scanners on.
Right, we're minimal.
Minimal. So
minimal signature. Got it.
Would I be able to reach Fred Johnson at this point to give him a sit rep about what's happening? Would that be traceable by this ship? Because I don't want to screw us up.
Give me an intelligence check.
All right.
Tech check. You already have a tech check.
Okay. That is 14.
14. You think you could probably do it? You'd need to work with Mark on it. You need to figure out a way to like time it so that you can pull the power up for you to send it and then turn it off, so it's harder to trace.
So out of character, everybody knows that I'm OPA, but people within our group don't. It's not something I've told them.
No.
So I wouldn't be able to work with Mark unless I told him.
Unless you told him, yeah.
No. All right then. I'll just. I guess I'll walk up to the bridge anyway. I'll go see what he's doing. I'll see what he's doing. I'll like where is he in fact on this map? I know that you don't have the map up, but I'll drag him anyway.
Very top in
This
the
is
bridge.
very top.
All
in
right.
the bridge. Yeah, all the ships in the Expanse are built like giant flying office buildings. So the top is usually the front, and the bottom is usually the back. So
okay. All right. Well, as we're floating in the debris, then I'll walk up. I'll climb up to the top to meet Mark, and I'll go. So, how's it going? Trying not to be too suspicious.
Hey man, just drifting with it, you know.
All right, man. I hear you. So the 3 panels here. Are you saying that I would have to talk to Mark? I couldn't just like sit on one of these things.
You could probably try it, but give me a sleight of hand check for that one.
All right, a sleight of hand check.
Wow,
so many asteroids out there. So sleight of hand. What would that be?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. Okay. 12.
Okay.
Forget your stun point.
And yeah, you have 4 stun points you can use as well if you want to try that.
Oh wow.
I would
all right.
These would probably be infiltration stunts.
Okay, infiltrating the team. I do apologize, but yeah. I guess I'll use it wasn't me. You leave evidence another character is responsible for the results of your test, such as breaking and entering. So yeah, I'll use that. It wasn't me. And if I'm caught, I'll say, hey, no man, this was open before I got there, you know?
Who would you blame on sending the signal out?
Sloan.
Sloan?
You couldn't get mad at Sloan.
So Sloan, okay. I don't think there are passives. What is your
passes? 0, 0, 0, 0.
Passes. Mark, what is your I believe perception? Your natural perception.
Natural perception.
I imagine you're pretty focused on trying to, not hit debris as your main engine is off and most of the power off. You're probably just using maneuvering thrusters every once in a while to correct spin and such. So
yeah, to avoid getting hit when necessary. Perception's just a 1.
Okay, so even at a passive, you'd probably beat that. Yeah. So Mark, you don't notice anything. You don't notice Jata sitting down. He's just kind of idling, but he's doing stuff. You send something off.
I'm not really focused on what he's doing. I'm focused.
Yeah.
Just sitting down and enjoying the view. That's all.
Peirce, give me a Constitution check, Peirce.
Got it. Let's see.
You feel like you got hit by a truck because you practically did. 5 guys with automatic rifles pinging off of your medium armor.
Yeah, a truck made of automatic rifles.
All right, Constitution. Go ahead and submit. Secret.
Okay. So you're still feeling kind of messed up right now in bed. You're conscious, but you're messed up. You'll have to wait until Mark is done piloting to probably help you out with that one.
No way.
Let's see who's down in here. Cass, the scientist lady approaches you. She climbs up the because you guys are 0G, so she's kind of maneuvering 0G up the ladder, and comes up towards you, and is demanding to. She's like, "Where are you going to drop us? You agreed you were going to save us. Where are you going to drop us off?"
Lady, I'm not piloting the ship. At this point,
fuck you.
This is Cass is like not doing well because he's an Earther and doesn't do well with 0G.
Yeah, she's upside down to you, like she's floating upside down to you, so it's kind of disorienting because the ground and the ceiling, and she's a belter. She's used to this kind of thing. You just kind of like your brain doesn't quite click over for that.
My main concern right now is not filling this deck with vomit. We're going to drop you off somewhere safe. We're not even going to hand you over to the cops. For so many reasons.
She sighs and just kind of like floats back towards the pushes off the wall and floats back towards the central like ladder and then climbs back down. She kind of flashes like an angry glance at you as she goes back down the ladder as well.
I mockingly shoot a similar glance back at her, but clearly in the like SpongeBob alternating caps font.
Yeah.
How many people are down there in the hold at the moment?
Let me double check that. There is a total of
6, right?
1, 2,
Her-
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Oh, geez.
including.
Well, at least one of them is in the med bay.
Yeah, one of them is in the med bay, which is the belter who was being experimented on. So yeah, Peirce, you look over and there's this dude with a hole in the side of his head.
Huh.
I didn't do it. Did I do it? I didn't do it.
And no exit wound.
Nope.
And no exit wound. Just like someone put a drill to the side of his head and started drilling.
That's uncomfortable.
So, I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. After a couple of hours, you don't see any debris or anything else like that. But Jata, you do get a notification on your hand terminal from Fred Johnson.
My uncle.
Your uncle, yes.
Yeah.
It pops up on your hand terminal, nobody else, because I'm assuming you were trying to get a way that he could contact you, that you could find out.
That's right.
So, on the message is very simple. What did you send him, by the way?
So on the message, I literally just said, okay, well, detour, not a cold paper mission, Mormons, crazy scientists, Project Sandman. Those 4 main things.
He responds
Love
back. He responds back with acknowledged. Keep me in the loop.
Okay. I send a loop emoji at him.
And now, Mark, do you want to try to heal up Peirce?
Well, actually, I'm gonna, make Mr. Stealth sitting next to me realize he could have just waited a little while. So, Jata, you think you can keep us from getting hit by anything? I'm gonna go check on the rest of the crew.
Wait, what? No.
Can you fly this thing?
Yo, listen here, Meloda. I've never flown a ship in my life, okay? I can keep the lights. Where's the light button? I can keep the lights on.
As the
I look
lights
around.
go out.
Just think of it like a video game. Don't let anything hit us.
Sure. Stretch your legs and leave all our lives in my hands. Let's do that. Okay.
Why not? You just left yours in mine.
You're the pilot, not me, but yo. Yeah, like Pashang, let's do this. All right, so I can't catch my fingers for some reason, but I do that, and I.
All right, so I head down to Ed Bay. Obviously, Peirce is my priority, but anyone else with injuries, I'd want to take a look at.
Give me 2 Constitution checks.
2.
Mm-hmm. One for the or no, I'm sorry, your medical checks.
Medical checks. Hold on.
Double check. That's why I linked that earlier. Medicine check, yeah, 2 medicine checks.
I got it. An 11.
Okay, so one's good.
And hold on. And a 10.
Okay, so the guy who is had a hole in his head is still kind of messed up, but Peirce, you're back to from unconscious or not unconscious, from barely conscious to just injured. So you're like limping, but you can get up and move around now.
Got it.
And everyone else can refill their stamina. Let me double check the
8
stamina.
plus.
Yeah.
8 plus level if we've been recovering or doing our favorite action.
Yes, and I assume you guys have been recovering, at least to some degree. So that would be.
Yeah.
I feel left out. I don't get to do anything with that.
Yeah, because my fortune's down to 8.
It's actually
so I took 1.
10 plus level per 8 hours. Yeah.
Right. My brain shut off.
Yeah. So you will have, you guys are what, level 3 now? No, level 2.
Level 2.
2.
Level 2. So you guys get 12 fortune points back over this course of time.
Yay.
In the meantime, as you guys have been tumbling, Sloan, you get a strange message on your hand terminal. It didn't come through the ship. It just came straight to your hand terminal.
Okay.
It's from one of your brothers.
Which one?
The brother you talked about, the traitor brother who you talked earlier about.
What do we call them?
Brick.
Gunner and Brick. Yeah, Brick. So it would have been Brick.
Yeah, so Brick contacts you. And all it's on there is a series of numbers. Give me an intelligence check while you're looking at it.
Okay.
Well, you don't speak binary, bro?
It doesn't look like binary. It just it's a string of different of several different numbers. Okay. So you realize while looking at this that these are coordinates, spatial coordinates somewhere in nearby, possibly. You don't know. It's it definitely looks like coordinates to somewhere in the system.
Okay, is there a way for me to like basically look it up on a map?
Yeah, give me a love this thing. Give me a navigation check, which would be intelligence. Give me another intelligence check.
Okay. And I got stump points out of that.
Okay, so yeah, you are able to, pull up some of the ship's maps and start looking at it. And you see that it's in the middle of nowhere, off of the ecliptic, which is the kind of the plane of like where all the planets are orbiting. It's above the ecliptic and seems in like outside of any trade lanes. It's just empty, like in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. I'm gonna send him back a message, and I'm just gonna say, when, as in like, when do I need to be there? Apparently, that kind of thing.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Let's see. Now that you guys are here, Cass, do you want to be doing anything? Jata, Peirce.
I'm trying to think what Cass would do in this situation, because this is the one situation where he wouldn't be drinking.
Would he be puking? Would he be puking, though?
Not in front of anybody. He's probably gone to talk to whoever on the crew he can find who can help with this decision of where to drop the lady scientist and her friends.
Well, if you go to the bridge, you might be a little surprised.
Well, I'd have to pass through the med bay.
Yeah.
To get there. So I think what would more than likely what would happen is I would be going up through the center of the ship and get to the area with the med bay and go, wait.
If you go one level higher, you'll find me doing a Steamboat Willie on the top, going.
Like a light switch, like it's the horn.
Yeah.
By the way, Jata, give me a dexterity check.
Dex. Oh God. Oh. Okay.
Oh, actually, genuinely, Cass is probably still just hanging out on the deck right above the hold, basically standing guard.
Okay.
Your lives are in my hands. 14.
Oh, thank God.
14.
We die.
Yeah,
We
no,
die
you're
anyway.
good. You are very new at this, but you see like the warnings, like boop boop, like red lights are flashing, and it's like collision alert, and you're just like
That's good, right?
left, and you just move just out of the way as it flows by, and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. So,
Right. So, because I'm up in the bridge, as for what I'm doing now that I have unfettered access because I'm not being watched anymore, I
You weren't being watched to begin with.
you never
just
know.
did what you were doing.
I'm going to reach out to all my contacts, my OPA contacts, just to keep in the loop. So I'm going to be checking Fred's lists to see if there are any jobs, if anything is sold that I've sold in the past data-wise. I'm going to be reaching out to Pavadi Momnator again back on Ganymede to see what's up, just to, maintain the up and up with the OPA. That's about it, really. So nothing on towards, just, checking Discord, basically.
Imgur?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Checking up on all my servers on Discord.
OPA book, or
That's
whatever
right.
it was.
OPA book, yes, that's the one.
Haven. Peirce, what is
Yeah.
Peirce doing right now?
Peirce limps away from the man with a hole in his head.
Okay.
He's going to sit aside on the other side of the room.
What the fuck are you doing?
Peirce, by the way, you get a
Wait.
message on your terminal.
Uh-huh.
On your hand terminal, it's a message from a group of people whom you've worked with in the past. They call themselves the Big Hats.
You know what they say about guys with big hats?
Big heads?
Yep.
They're they're a mercenary group that is they send you a message, and this message specifically says, "Got a job for you if you're interested."
Oh. Might have to wait till I stop aching a little bit, but I'll take a look at it. Goes ahead and opens up the message.
So on the message, you have a series of details. The details are for 2 Martian citizens who are wanted by the Martian, the MCR, the Martian Colonial Republic. They're wanted for smuggling and wanted for connection with the Eros incident. Both of which are supposedly not on Palace Station.
Huh.
The
Eros incident.
Yes. In which the Eros, which is an asteroid, somehow managed to propel itself into the atmosphere of Venus. So almost hitting Earth in the process. So the people who are involved with the project have been they may have been involved with it have been being hunted down throughout the system. And specifically, it says, "We heard that your friends might be interested." And friends, he puts in brackets, Culpepper.
How's the pay involved? Any details on that?
Each of them are very, very high. We're talking like Public Enemy number one. High. Public Enemy number 1 for the Martians.
Hey. I very much like high pay. I'm gonna go ahead and approach Sloan about it.
Okay.
I'm
What
gonna
do you do?
mosey on over to her and be like, "Hey, Sloan,
Yeah.
a couple of old friends of mine, I guess you could call them that, are reaching out to me, and they got a bit of an offer I think you'd like to check out." I'll go ahead
What's
and
that?
share the message with her.
Sorry, tell me the message again.
Oh, the message is there are 2 like Martians most wanted kind of individuals who were last seen on Palace Station, who were possibly involved in the Eros incident, and they're paying big bucks.
Do they have names on the message of those Martians?
Yes, it's Stacy Lee and George Amos.
Do those ring any bells with me, like on a personal level?
No.
Okay. I kind of nod. I say, I think that might be something to look into. I also got a message of my own, and I think I'd like to maybe talk to the group about it without our guests.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Let's also definitely decide to chase this up if we can, because these are some. I'm looking at some big boy bucks here.
Yeah. Big boy bucks are nice.
Ooh.
While they're having this conversation, I make my way back up to the bridge.
You pass
Okay.
through us.
As they're talking about it, you actually hear.
Adjacent to you.
Okay. I will say you.
Like,
you
not through you.
I mean, yeah, you know what I mean.
yeah.
Spooky
Okay.
ghosts. We're all dead.
That's the
And
twist.
they died.
What a twist.
All right. So
There's a spooky, scary skeleton in every one of us.
Ooh, it's almost that time of year, babe. Yeah.
So, I'm going to fast forward time a little bit before you guys can all get back together and talk
Can
about
I
this.
can I
Go
thank
ahead.
Jata for not getting us killed real quick?
Well, you scared the shit out of Jata when you come up, by the way, because Jata is so focused on everything that you're just like,
We got.
yeah.
And I don't even care that he's startled, because like he's a belter, whatever.
I wasn't doing nothing.
To the terminal, I'm like, thanks for not getting us killed. I don't even pay attention to what he's doing. Like I
Mhm. Okay. Which one of these buttons is self-destruct? But
it's on
real
the other
talk,
terminal.
Oh. Before the time skip, I wanted to make these on the like image we have of the ship. They're like different airlocks. Am I able to seal them from up here?
Yes, you can definitely.
reasons.
They're all airlocks. There's
All
like
right.
like in between
So
areas.
I think you and I are about to have a very similar idea. I'm basically going to be tossing a bag of kibble into the hold.
That's right. I don't want them coming up. Those 8 goons with like hammers doing stuff, and maybe also train those guns on them too down there, because
Do we have any internal?
You do
They
have
pull-
in the
Okay.
in the
They're gimbaled,
airlock,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gimbaled. So you could theoretically open the interior of the airlock and then turn the guns around so that if anyone comes
Well,
up that hallway, you can pull them full of holes.
Drones,
I
are you
will
okay?
say that once you have the interior of the airlock open, you don't really need to involve the guns, because at that point it's just a switch to the exterior.
That's very true. That's very true. They picked
I'm
wrong.
just saying. I'm not judging you guys, but
And in the cargo area down at the bottom, there is a cargo airlock, which has been used for like moving in and off. So you could easily just flip that open if you really needed to.
All right, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna risk pressing the wrong button and doing that. So I'm gonna tell Marky my plan. I'm just like, want to seal that door. I don't want them moving around the ship. Seems like a bad
and I
idea.
just point
Yeah,
over at the button for it.
I like the
that one.
idea that you're doing that while I'm throwing a couple of bags of kibble down there and like pressing the buttons on the panel for the actual like bulkhead to be like, and locked.
All right, so that solves that. I'm not gonna talk to them on the PA and tell them what's happening because they might be freaking out. But yeah.
Whereas I'm like through the like as I'm tossing
So-
kibble down there, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna lock you in.
Do we,
Gotta
do
go
we
have a
at least have a
conversation.
camera in our cargo hold?
Yes,
I think
your
we
cameras
did.
all over the ship. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll keep
Lots
an
of
eye
cameras.
on them on the bridge.
Yeah. If you need to use the restroom, use one of the smaller cargo containers.
Pee in the airlock. You'll be fine. Totally won't shout out
Gross.
things. All right. All right. So we're going to skip forward a little bit, and you guys are going to have a conversations together.
Yay.
What do you all want to share? I will say, like Sloan, Peirce. I know you guys both have things you want to talk about. Does anybody else want to talk about anything else while you guys are talking?
I just want to know where we're going.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna want to know if Cass figured out where we're putting these people, because I knew that he was kind of the one talking to them.
Somewhere close, because I don't want to deal with them anymore.
Yeah, agreed.
Though we should probably, at least one or two of them, we should probably take them back to the Mormon.
Yes, the one, the Dr. Sari.
Have we? Let me move my character to like the main kitchen. Have we told them where? I mean, who sent us? I mean, maybe that might tell us where they should go, or maybe they might even want to go to the people that sent us to rescue them in the first place.
Nope.
I think Dr. Sari definitely. Well, we did say, like, at some point, I think it was me who got on comms, or somebody told Dr. Sari at some point, like, that, you know, we were like, you know, we were there to get him specifically.
Mm-hmm. You do remember both Dr. Sari and
I have her name.
put her up.
Anna Bragenhorn.
Bargain Dargan.
I have it saved as Bragenhorn. Dr. Anna
check.
Bragenhorn.
Definitely Dr. Anna. Scrolling so far up. There we go. Yeah, Bragenholm. Yeah. Dr. Anna Bragenholm. She is also there. So they're both there. Though Bragenholm seems to be more like wandering around with the other scientists, and like Sari's kind of trying to separate himself from the rest of the group. And the only person who seems to keep them in line is Dr. Drake.
Right. Could we have got him separated from the group at some point during this over the time of this time skip?
Yeah, you'd have to play it out for me though.
Yeah, that's fine. Do y'all want to do that right now? Y'all want us to get it done?
Sure.
It's your mission.
Okay.
They start messing around down there, I'm sealing the bridge again.
So how do you approach this? You're going down into the cargo hold with a bunch of angry scientists. Who's going
tried to
down
catch
there?
him.
We're going to the bulkhead of the cargo hold and getting on the speaker and be like, Sari, you up the ladder. The rest of you back.
Okay, give me a
Communication, persuasion.
yeah, communication. If you have persuasion, you can do that.
I'll do it.
Okay.
What do you say, Sloan?
I just say, Dr. Sari, would you mind like coming up the hold and everybody else stay back?
Give me a persuasion.
Okay. Doing that. There we go.
Paging Dr. Sari to engineering. Paging Dr. Sari.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, the Drake kind of like moves the group back a little bit, and Sari kind of carefully gets up from his corner and walks to the top, kind of looking behind him as he climbs up the ladder into the engineering deck. So.
Okay. I meet him down there in the next deck, and have them upstairs close it or whatever, so that we can speak with him privately.
Looks at you and goes, Thank you for rescuing me, I guess. I mean, are you here to rescue me?
Yes.
Who sent you? My wife? She can't pay for this.
What's the name? Apostle?
Mormon blessings upon you.
Yeah, Mormon blessings upon you. We were sent by, I'm trying to find the name of the apostle.
Paul.
Apostle Birch, brother, I forget the name. We happened to be at the same place back at insert name of station we were at before that I can't remember.
Tycho.
Tycho. I should have known that. We were at Tycho and we overheard Apostle Birch and brother, whatever his name is. We overheard them. We struck up a conversation, and they told us about the fact that you and Anna were missing. And we took a contract to come try to figure out what happened to you and if you were alive to retrieve you and return you. Spoke with your wife at one point to investigate. And in the course of our investigation of trying to figure out where you were, did speak with your wife. And so I believe we saw their children. Like, we didn't talk to them, but we saw them. You know, they're faring well, but obviously they miss you. But the question is, are you wanting to be returned? And if so, we will make that happen. You just have to say the word.
He nods very, very violently. Yes. I did not want to be here. They put a bag over my head and beat me unconscious and dragged me on the ship.
We saw that.
Now, what about? Now, my question is, what about Anna? I know that we'll speak with her separately as well, but we got the impression that she wasn't as attached to the previous project.
I don't think she wanted to be here either, but they did something to her. They did something to all of them. Something that made them not quite there anymore.
Oh, like drilling into the side of their head?
Kind of, yeah.
If we were to return her home as well, do you think you could do what you could to help her return to her normal self?
I don't think she'll be able to return to her normal self, but she'll definitely. She's still not quite indoctrinated, I guess is the best way of putting it. The rest of them they'll do what Drake tells them to do, no matter what. But with her, it takes her a couple of times. She still seems kind of like she's not quite there. Yeah. They were going to do it to me too, but
I think it might be in her best. I think it might be in her best interest to return her, and then maybe people like you can maybe eventually try to help her get back to where she was. But she was taken against her will, as were all the others. But the others, I don't know what to do about them, and I don't think our crew would know what to do about them because they seem to be attached to Dr. Drake at this point. It may be a lost cause.
I've got one idea. It rhymes with Peirlock.
I've got a better idea. She works for Pope Sanchez and seems to be doing it voluntarily. I'm not against ransom.
That could work. Money's money.
But, and I look over at you, we did agree to get rid of them.
No, we agreed to drop them off in a safe place, and I can think of no safer place than handing them back over to Pope Sanchez for money.
Down with
Wait a
that.
minute. Wait. Hand them over to Pope. Do we know if the Sanchez they're working with and Pope Sanchez are the same person?
Yes.
Yeah, but the Pope Sanchez, the Ebenezer Hazard, their ship, is the one that kidnapped them and brought them to the...
So you want to sell them back to the Pope?
Well, Drake wasn't somebody that appears to be...
Does the bear Pope shit in the woods in the Vatican?
Drake is compliant from what we can tell with Pope Sanchez. It's the others involved that are not are likely not originally compliant.
All right. Well, once again, it's your mission. I'm here for the exercise. Yeah, the exercise.
Well, here's what we're gonna do for now. We're gonna keep.
Let's get a step tracker going, and
we're gonna keep Dr. Suri from this point on separated from the others. That way, he is safe.
We should also probably work on our holy friend.
Yes, and we're also gonna separate. Wait, holy. Oh yeah. And I look at Dr. Suri. I say, if we get that patient out from down there. Wait, that patient's in the medical hold, right?
Yeah, we've got.
Okay, so he's already separated.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Dr. Suri and say, can you help that guy in any way? The Belter.
like a cork, something.
Yeah, no, I can give a shot at it.
Okay,
was-
and we'll also return him to Tycho Station with under under your care. And
Okay.
maybe from that point on, other people at Tycho Station. I think
He's probably
kind of-
he was probably kidnapped from Tycho Station anyways.
obviously,
what
I think
Dr. Cerritos
almost
responds
all
with.
of I think almost all of the people that are down there, aside from Dr. Drake, were kidnapped. I mean, I would assume that. But yeah, we're gonna get Anna separated out as well. So why don't you just go relax? Maybe go check on that patient. And then we're going to call up Anna and then send her to the medical bay as well and let her rest there.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
You have him go up to to do the.
Yeah, he has, at this point, as far as I'm concerned, he has free reign. He's going to be separated.
He goes up to. Goes up to the patient, and he will do a Evan. He doesn't. He has the same trouble that Mark was having with the patient.
Well,
He's
research and
stable.
try again later.
Yeah.
This guy needs medical care like he needs a hole in the head.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to leave it to Dr. Sari to sort of try to monitor him and improve, him in any way that he can. But at this point, can we go ahead and call Anna up?
Okay, you can do the same. Give me another persuasion check.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Sorry.
You have 2 stun points.
Oh, yeah. Let me look at my quick reference. And social stunts.
You do only generate stun points on a successful check.
That's true.
Oh, that's true.
So yeah,
Of
you
Did they succeed?
you no one responds. No one like you say, Dr. Anna. Same thing as you step forward and everyone's step back. Anna doesn't move.
All right, Cass is getting bored not bored, but like annoyed with the prisoners.
Yeah.
So he just like slams his hand on the speaker and is like, Anna, Drake, up here, now.
Roll an intimidation check.
Roll me a strength check. Yeah. Intimidation or strength, one of the two, whichever one you have.
Interesting that intimidation is tied in with strength.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
How hard can you flex?
Yeah.
Or fighting, I guess, because strength, I don't see.
It's
there it is. There it is.
It's strength.
I found it. It tucked away. Okay. Submit. Secret. Okay.
Okay. And you yeah, it seems to have worked. The Drake kind of calls for Anna to come with her, and then they both climb up the ladder. And Drake looks pissed off. She looks kind of scared, but also pissed. And she sighs as she gets up in the zero-G and goes, "What?"
Drake, we didn't call you.
No, I did.
You
I
did.
did.
Oh, sorry.
Take Anna up to medical. Please.
Anna looks back at Drake, and Drake looks back at Anna, and then that Sloan just kind of nods her head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna discuss with Miss Drake here. Their contingent release.
I'm gonna make sure that the hatch is locked behind, so the Goombas down there don't do anything weird.
Yeah,
without any
absolutely.
handlers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just is it just Cass and Drake in the
I
engine
would
room?
probably be backing Cass up because he is not nearly as charismatic as
Cass asked you to take the
Oh,
Anna
he asked
up.
me to take her?
Yeah.
Then I'll
Yeah.
take her.
So it's just
let's
Cass and Drake.
And whoever else wants to be standing down there.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there's anybody else standing down there. If it's
Pierce?
Jata or
Get the
Peirce.
sledgehammer ready, you know?
Boy,
There's
my
not a-
arms.
Yeah. You take a
It's gonna be
negative
hard to
2
swing
to
a
any of
sledgehammer
your.
in 0G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you tried that before. You tried to say that before, and he ended up figuring out how to do it. So.
Yeah.
Paul, since they're letting more and more people out of that hold, I'm gonna have my finger on the button to put everybody on the floor if I have to. Just so you know, sudden G's can be a bitch.
Got it. You're gonna make them walk the dinosaur. Everyone get on the floor. Everyone walk the dinosaur.
Suddenly, geez.
Which one of the
knocking you
chairs
down.
in the ship has the juice?
All of the chairs in the ship are crash couches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just one of those weird things about the Expanse universe is that pretty much if there's a bed or a seat that is designed as a seat for people or as a bed for people, it is also a crash couch. And
Like
most of them
seat,
have,
I sleep.
yeah, most of them also have juice just because you guys had it installed in the ship. So
Right.
I'm assuming just Cass and Dr. Drake are in the hold or in the engineering. She's sitting there upside down. She intentionally starts floating upside down with her arms crossed and goes, "I'm listening, Earther."
We have options now. You want to get dropped off? I'm not gonna lie. I want to get paid. And I think it's pretty clear that you work for a pretty well-off company.
She gets what you're saying pretty quickly and goes and starts laughing. Just starts laughing. Just oh, you're trying.
I'll do it. I'll do
You're
it for you.
trying to.
I'll do a lady laugh for you.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Like that. Yes. The princess laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like you think Pope Sanchez, you're going to get Pope Sanchez to buy me? Oh my, you sweet dumb Earther. The second you tell them where I am, they'll send a ship here. They'll blow your little ship up, or disable it, pump all the air out, then take me.
Kind of the thought I had when y'all started suggesting this out of character.
Just as a side note, your order of operations there is really shitty.
You get my point. The best thing you can do to save your own ass is to drop me off at a station, not Tycho, and letting me go.
I could do that. I could kill you.
You can try.
What is she, the fucking Terminator? For fuck's sake.
Right.
Are you sure not Tycho? Fred Johnson would love to speak with you, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure he would. But I'm not about to end up in an OPA court. I'm on the cutting edge of science. I'm preserving mankind. My research will help us go to the stars, not just in generations like those stupid Mormons want, but in one. Go to sleep, wake up under a new sun. Imagine it. Imagine it.
I have enough
Villain's
trouble.
monologuing. Killer.
I have enough trouble getting a tan with this sun. You're not impressing me.
There's always those without the vision, without the mind to comprehend what's important. Sometimes people just need to get squashed in order for science to progress. It's not happy, it's not fun, but it happens all the time. for the better of all of us, we do this.
She's currently floating upside down, right?
Yes, upside down with her arms crossed. Well, she's just gesticulating with her arms now, but you know.
Would I have heard the keyword OPA court like an Alexa?
If you're listening, yes.
I pull up my hand terminal, and I just like punch in to Mark really quick, and I'm I'm not being super subtle, but I'm not letting her see my hand terminal.
Yeah.
And I just punch into Mark. 1G question mark?
Say when. That's the response you get, is say when.
I just send back when.
I've been waiting for the moment, so you know that's gonna hurt, right?
Well, I'm 1G. I'm an earther. I don't care. I'm positioning myself so I'm going to land on my feet.
Yeah, but
all right.
I wanted to hurt her.
You're gonna hurt everybody on the ship, but yeah.
Fine.
Jata's in the break room standing in traffic.
Point 5G.
I was gonna say, Haven's about to go from being ow to all over.
Point 5 then, so a little more than your standard station.
What do I think would be comfortable to put them on the floor without permanently injuring anybody?
Like half a G, maybe 3/4 of a G. It'd be enough to like pin people, surprise them at the very least.
Including Jata and Sloan.
Yeah.
Well, before I do that, the scariest thing of this entire adventure, and turn the sensors on so I can see what's out there. I don't want to go half a G into a rock.
Okay, so you turn on the sensors, and the debris field is mostly crossed is gone. There's pretty much empty, and you also notice in the sensors that there's no that UN frigate or destroyer that was UN's destroyer that was out there is investigating the explosion, but you're way beyond that. You've tumbled way out of any kind of range. Okay. No one would assume that you came from that station unless you started actively doing maneuvers away.
Good work, drones.
He got like a 19 or 20 when he hit that initial burn. So
hell
good.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
It was good. Glad I got off the ship to help out people. That was... Oh wait, I'm not supposed to keep mentioning that. Decisions. I write back, it'll draw attention, right?
Just a short burst. Direction less important.
All right. I'm gonna ignore his numbers and go with 0.4G.
Okay. Give me a piloting, real quick.
Piloting, you got it. Hold on.
And while I'm doing this, I'm also like sort of eyeing her up and down. It's been like,
how's that roll though?
Jesus Christ!
Oh, wow!
Use them stunt points.
How's that? What?
That he got a
Hold
20.
On. I gotta figure out what I want to do. Oh, jeez. Actually, you know what? Can I just throw all those into reducing the churn? Because there's nothing I really need to accomplish right this minute.
Double check to see if you can.
I think you can do up to 3 to reduce the churn, because if you spend 4 or more, it increases the churn.
Yeah.
So you could also use them to get. No, you have all your fortune points because you never left the ship.
Wow. You noticed that? Vehicle stunts didn't seem really like anything was applicable.
Yeah. Not seeing any social stunts. Why do we not have the social? Oh, there it is.
Actually, hang on. Okay, actually, there is something I want to do with all those stunt points. So fuck the turn. Blinding maneuver, specifically towards that investigating ship.
Okay.
Maneuver your
So-
ship in such a way as to blind or limit opponent's sensors. Each SP you spend reduces an opposing ship's sensor score by 1 to a minimum score of -2 until the start of the next round.
So you're doing all 6 into that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So, you do something more like harsh than just acceleration. You hit the acceleration and instantly turn. I need to get constitution checks from everybody on the ship.
Does that include me?
No, you're in a crash couch.
Okay.
Peirce and I at the freaking dining table, and I'm like, so then I said,
Sorry, guys.
I'm good.
Good job, Peirce.
Damn.
Yay, my zero-G experience.
He sensed the turn before it happened. So as
Cass,
Utah's like,
however.
and then I said, and then he just grabs the table and just smashes his head against the table. That's exactly what happens.
I'm going to spend some fortune points to get my total up to a 10, just so we're clear.
Okay.
Because I rolled natural ones.
Just so you know, on a typical burn like this, you need at least an 8.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
I'm going to
Oh,
spend
sweet.
mine
I
to
got
get
it.
up to
It's-
an 8.
It's a well-known. That's like a kind of like a well-known idea. It's something that you can brace yourself. But this isn't serious combat maneuvers. This is just like a combat maneuver to try to like blind the sensors of the distant ship so they don't realize it's the ship there.
so I got an
Okay.
8. Because I'm a belter, is the difficulty class higher, or is it the same 8?
It's the same, but you also have negatives if you fail. You have a higher
Right.
negatives if you fail.
Gotcha.
And if you do it for a prolonged period of time, then you become fatigued, which is kind of like being injured.
Okay.
So yeah, I spend enough to get myself up to the brace point.
Okay. And Sloan? Constitution check.
Oh, thanks. God dang it. One place. There we go. Con. Come on, no whammies.
Big money.
Good. All right. So, does double duty. That, but then
And just to be clear, Paul, if anybody asks, we were avoiding debris.
okay. So she's fucking nimble. So as the G's kick on, she feels herself falling, manages to put her hands out, stop herself on the deck. Hurts a little bit, winces a little bit from the pain, but then as it maneuvers, she uses her body's weight to kind of like maneuver, so she's back up on her feet as the gravity pulls away and you go back to 0G. And she goes. She kind of looks at. She kind of stops
I
there and looks at you,
immediately
blinks.
step forward and grab her by the scruff of her shirt.
Okay. Give me a grappling check or a fighting.
Oh dear. What deck is this occurring on, by the way?
The one right above the hold.
So
Engineering, I
the
guess?
engineering desk, yeah, engineering deck. Okay, you grab on hold of her.
We need to get something clear here about the power dynamic on this ship. And the dynamic is you have none. And that's about it.
She looks at you, as you're holding her, and she says, "Hun, I have several highly trained experts right below your deck. If we wanted to, we could kill all of us. Remember, we're right below engineering."
Still holding her by the scruff of her shirt. Mark,
Yep.
open the outer airlock in the hold.
The airlock open.
Okay.
I hope they can do it really, really quick.
Okay. You don't hear it because it's a little muffled. It's between decks, but you can kind of feel the as like the ship kind of shudders a little bit as the airlock opens and the air gets drained out of into space. Okay. So none of them manage to hold on. All of them suffocate to death.
Why would they suffocate? I didn't know.
No, outer airlock.
Oh. Yeah, I think
I
you
fucking
opened it.
make a point. Make a fucking point. Hey, we do it. Jettison them.
Airlock has 2 doors. Outer one's open.
You only
closed.
you only open the outer one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
so they weren't dying. Okay.
By the way, I also grab my hand terminal and I send a message to everybody except for Cass, and it just says "Crash Couch now."
I think Peirce and Jata are already there, but yeah.
Yeah.
You
Sloan,
and
you're
your-
muted. You're still muted.
Still muted. Now you're
There
not
you go.
muted.
Now you're not muted.
Okay. I make sure Sari and Anna are secured before I make sure I'm secured.
Okay.
And then I send him back an affirmative that I'm good.
She looks at you and says, "Who's the monster on this ship?"
I never claimed not to be.
Okay, Amos.
She just kind of shakes her head and goes, "You can kill me. You can kill all of them. But Pope Sanchez will come looking. You don't think Mr. Sanchez's personal project is going to get any attention when the entire station blows up? What if when they find out that you were looking for us? What do you think is going to happen to you?"
I'm so confused as to the Mormons that sent us here in the first place.
I think that you have more pressing concerns right now. So, let's be clear. We're gonna stay civil. And maybe you make it to a station alive.
Give me a communications check.
Let me figure out what to do with those. I think it's doing that double stump point thing again, but
Yeah, it is doing that double sum point thing when we get all fours. I think it's probably an age rule or a different age rule that does that.
yeah.
So that's 4
Let
points.
me get to my quick reference card. Where are my social stunts? Oh, it opened in the wrong thing. Dang it. Uno momento. I need the social stunts.
In the meantime, follow Haven Kendrick, Buster the Destroyer, Meyer, HP Braincase, and Dr. Drones, all on Twitch. They're all Twitch streamers. They're all fantastic. You should be watching them.
And by the way, this month is September, so if you have not, do be sure to hit that subscribe button on the
Sub
Astro
all
Club.
and sub all of these folks because if you haven't already done so yet. Yeah.
Sponsored by Subway.
Okay.
Have it your way.
boy, these social stunts are interesting. I am going to spend 3 points on making an offer,
Okay.
and then just use the 4th point to get a point of fortune back.
What is the mechanical?
Making an offer implies a promise or olive branch temporarily shifting the target's attitude toward you by 1 per SP spent. It's
Spending
Yep.
3?
yes.
And what's the last one you spending?
Just to get a point of fortune back.
Okay. 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 Attitude stunt, yeah. Okay. So as you're saying this, her eyes kind of grow wide a little bit, and she just kind of stops and just like tightens her lips and goes, "Fine. Can I go back
All
to my
right.
people now?"
You can. I kick the button on the bulkhead so it opens up.
Opens up.
She's like, my people need me.
She kind of like wiggles out of your grip and then kind of floats, pushes herself down towards the ladder and climbs down the ladder into the cargo hold.
Which
So-
I
Lock it
close
behind
and
her.
lock.
Okay.
And I close and lock and then send a message or like pull up my hand terminal like, Jata, can you see if you can isolate the electrics in the hold from or the systems in the hold from the rest of the ship, please?
But am I your maid? I guess I'll do that.
Oh my god, Jata, you're so freaking extra sometimes.
The best.
Such a catty bitch.
He also he's got that wonderful belter like chip on his shoulder for everything. Every time someone asks him to do something, he's like, I'm not doing your job for you. Do your
Then
own
I
job.
do it.
And then you do it.
He always has to like give you lip, and then he's like, "Fine, I'll do it."
Fly the ship, isolate the electronics, sweep the floor.
Hey,
Come on.
unlike Mark, I'm asking him to do something he's trained in.
I gave him training. I said, don't let shit hit us.
He also showed me where the button was, so there was that.
Give me a quick check for that. You can
A check
easily do
check.
it, but the intelligence check.
11.
Yeah, you do fine. You're able to lock it down pretty easily.
All right. On the hunt hand terminal, I go, all right, they're isolated. Anything else, master? Big Earth man.
You're funny.
All right,
Funny
so
guy.
You guys are gonna have your meeting now that you've dealt
I'm
with everybody.
gonna send a quick hand terminal to Cass. Hey, everything okay down there? Because the last thing I got was
Yeah.
hit the engines.
Yeah.
No, the last thing you got was open one of the airlocks.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Like, you can close it.
So on the team chat, I go, can I get up
Closing the
now?
airlock. Closing the airlock, but not repressurizing it.
Okay.
Right.
So Jatan wants to know if he can get up now.
Because there's one last thing I wanted to do before we reconvene.
Okay.
I just wanted to walk to the med bay where the guy who's in the bed is, and he's a belter, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to see if I could recognize exactly, maybe I knew where they're from or whatever. Also, take a quick selfie with me with the guy and send it to Fred, or just
Okay.
a selfie and send it when I can.
Give me a quick. Perception check.
Okay. All right. Perception. Perception is down here. Done. Looks
Okay.
human to me.
So you can see this guy's got OPA tats on him,
All right.
which is not unusual for a belter to have OPA tats. It could mean that he's a member of an OPA cell, or it could just mean that he supports the OPA.
He's an OPA weeb.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Right.
You know, and there are a lot
Okay.
of them out there. There are a lot of people who have the OPA tats just to kind of like fit in, especially on places like Ceres, which is run by the OPA, and Tycho.
Okay.
There's often people who get OPA tats who are like Martians and Earthers, just because like they don't want to get shanked in a dark alley kind of thing. So like it's definitely it doesn't necessarily point anything out. He doesn't
All right.
look anything other than he's probably from Tycho based off your own investigations and such.
Okay. I'll take a picture to put as part of my report to Fred.
Okay. And you send it off to Fred?
I'll wait until I'm alone. It's not really that important right now, is it?
No. Also, Mark, you said did you put everything back to normal speed? Turn everything back on?
Yeah, I wouldn't have continued the acceleration, just a momentary to drop him to the ground and then
So
immediately cut acceleration. Like I'm not trying to
Okay.
go anywhere.
But you still have the power systems on, and everything like that, right?
Just the sensors and engines.
Okay.
Anything else, and life support, obviously, but
Yeah.
anything else I would not have brought back to normal.
Okay. So let's go back to this group meeting. You all are sitting around the table. Anna and Bergholm and got his name.
Suri.
Suri are kind of in one of the crew quarters, kind of hanging out while you guys are talking. Yeah. So what do you guys want to talk
I'd
about?
like to participate via hand terminal from the bridge.
From the bridge. Okay.
That's if I can get one of you, preferably Sloan, to let me listen and participate.
Yeah, I'll pull you
I mean,
on.
you have the camera consoles and the like the
Yeah,
camera
that's true.
and the intercom. So
Fine. I was trying to do it the more polite way.
Yeah.
no
Not being
politeness
creepy
on this
big
ship.
brother, all right?
I'm gonna kind of, I guess, look at Peirce and say, well, I believe Peirce has something to share.
I do. I'll go ahead and pull up my terminal again and share them the message that I got. So, some old contacts of mine reached out to me about a high-paying job, a very high-priority target, so to speak, that has to do with the asteroid incident. And this is like a public enemy #1 kind of situation. So the pay is immense. I don't know about you, but I like my big boy bucks.
Bounty.
So go ahead and I'll share the fine details with them in the message that was sent to me.
Okay. So you all get the names. I forgot the names that I made up on the spot.
Bob and Linda. No, I don't know.
You see both of them. It's a man and a woman. Both of them were former Martian military, and they seem to have been involved in the Eros incident in some way. They're wanted for connection to the Eros incident. They disappeared. Last time they were seen was on Pallas Station, which is a belt asteroid.
And I just kind of say, well, you guys down for that?
It's also significant money. Like even if you split the rewards for these two, you would each boost your
Fortune.
your fortune, your income by 2. Each one of you would
I'm-
by 2.
I'm down for it, but personally prefer to get rid of the immediate threat to the ship.
That's right. Let's
Agreed.
let's
Yeah,
do one thing at a
have to
time.
reveal
Here.
this.
Yeah.
What's the nearest station that isn't Tycho? She's got moxie, by the way. I like her.
Palace is
I
pretty
look up
close.
what's the nearest.
Palace is pretty close because it was between Tycho and Palace. Was this? So Palace is actually fairly close to you guys. It's probably the closest habited station. You might be able to find some, more rundown like mining operations nearby, but Palace would be the closest, well-known, populated.
So that means we would need to, and I'm actually saying this character. So we should drop her and those people down below off at Palace, and then head back to Tycho to return to both collect on our Mormon contract and obviously deliver what we promised to deliver to complete that contract. Because they already paid us half up front, I believe,
Mhm.
and we're going to go get the other half of that money.
Or we could just let them know where their cargo is being delivered so they can be there.
I don't feel comfortable leaving them in the same place where Drake can get to them.
I don't care. Up to you, Boss Lee.
I agree with Sloan on this one. Personally, if we could pressurize a cargo container, I wouldn't mind leaving these guys sitting in space with a transponder. That being said,
Can we do that?
Yeah. You've heard of stories of people being left out in spacesuits with transponders and being rescued. As long as they're near space lanes, trade lanes. Don't go out of their way with trade lanes, though. Like, very rarely.
Something to consider. That's all I'm saying.
And also, I received coordinates from my brother. By the way, Paul, did he ever send me a message back in response to the one I sent?
No message.
Okay.
What were the coordinates?
I show you guys on the map. I can't remember exactly where Paul said that was.
It's
Middle
outside
of nowhere.
middle of nowhere, outside the plane of the ecliptic, above the plane of the ecliptic, but it's also it's between you and Palace.
So it's on the way to Palace.
It's on the way. That's you think maybe that's part of the reason why you got it in the first place is because it was a short range message that was able to be picked up by your hand terminal rather than the ship's comms.
But it's out of the elliptic. So if something goes wrong out there, nobody's finding us.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd feel more comfortable getting these people off our ship beforehand, at the very least.
That's fair, and I agreed with you that no matter what we do next, that's what we should do is drop them first. But he sent me no other context other than those coordinates, so part of me is worried that maybe he's stranded. He is a traitor, so I am sure there would be compensation if he was basically asking me for assistance, but at the same time, I have no idea what the context is of those coordinates. He just sent me coordinates, and that's all I know, and I would very much like to check on whatever the hell's going on.
I put my hand up. Did you think to reply and ask?
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing back yet.
All right, well.
Okay.
Your ship, your rules. I'm just here doing my thing.
So let's decide the order of operations here. Palace first to get Drake and her people off.
Do the Mormons have
I start
presence on
aligning
Palace?
the ship that way, Paul. Not burning, just aligning.
Okay. Hold on.
What was that HP?
Do the Mormons have a presence on Palace? I'd be okay dropping
Oh yeah, that's
Anna and Sari off on Palace if we can put them directly into
and
Mormon
under
hands.
protection. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, and this is out of character, but also in character. We are rescuing these Mormons from Mormons, so...
No.
We're rescuing these Mormons from a corporation that kidnapped them.
But the corporation that kidnapped them are the same people who they are Mormons.
No.
They are
No.
doing the
They're
Project
not.
Sandman thing. Are they not?
No, Pope
No.
Sanchez.
Pope
Sanchez.
Pope Sanchez did appreciate the Mormons' Nauvoo project. They were definitely in support of the Nauvoo project, but Sanchez, I think it was Pope himself, who's the leader of Pope Sanchez, who's like the CEO, said that it was
Pope.
Sebastian Pope. He was. He said it was too weak of an operation. He believed that we need to be able to get humans to another star in 1 generation, not 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was completely confused. You kept saying Pope Sanchez. I was like, oh, he's the Mormon Pope.
Nope.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
All right.
The Mormon church, just a real quick, because I know about this. They have like a prophet who is the head of the Mormon church, and then people below are apostles.
So the guy you're working for is like one of the number 2 guys, like in the Mormon Church.
Okay.
Just as a general, it's true in real life as well as I assume the Expanse.
They use the real life Mormon churches.
I used to work for Mormons for a summer stock theater, so I learned a lot about their church.
Okay. I need to change my notes then. I was like, Pope Sanchez, Mormon Pope, what's going on?
I was wondering, now it's starting to make sense, some of the confusion you've been having with this whole thing.
Cool. So yeah, if we can put them directly under protection, then we can save a trip back.
I can maybe contact the apostle. Shoot, I keep forgetting his name, and I have it right here. I can probably directly contact Apostle Birch and see if they have a presence on that station and get a name from him of somebody safe to leave them with.
Sound good?
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now, Paul. I'm just gonna send him a message and tell him we have the assets, and we are near. Tell me somebody I can leave them with on Palace.
Okay. Is that all for you guys' meeting? You guys made your decision. You going to Palace?
Well, again, we haven't decided the complete order of operations yet either. So, Palace to drop people off. And then what?
I say we try and get whatever Blake's word is worth that she's not going to send Sanchez after us. Pope Sanchez.
Don't we have copies of her data? Don't we have a copy of her data? We can ransom her data against her.
Yes, all of her data.
So we can just basically say, we have your data, and if you want it to be kept private and not to be sold, then you will comply.
This also included records of kidnapping.
Yes, that too. We basically have all her dirt right now, and if she wants that dirt kept secret, then she will comply, and she will not. She will not send Pope Sanchez after us.
I am not against this.
Okay. So, order of operations one more time. Palace, drop people off. And then, do we want to go for my brother, or do we want to try to go find that bounty first? I mean, the brother thing is on the way back to wherever we're going to go next, hopefully.
I'm okay checking on your family matters.
Okay.
Afterwards.
It may not even be my brother. It may be just that he's giving me a point of interest to check out. Who knows?
So, just as a clarification, there are all of the information that Peirce had gotten says that they are in Palace. Last they seen in Palace.
So okay. So we can investigate there while we're there and then move on. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. The only thing Jata says.
Go ahead, Jata.
No, go ahead. After you.
So the only thing Jata says about the whole Palace mission to take those 2 targets is that we should cross this with Culpepper, because I'm working for Culpepper. If it's not a Culpepper mission, I'm not going to be very well. I mean, I'll be cooperative, but I'm not going to be too swayed otherwise, because Culpepper are our employers.
Wasn't Culpepper the ones interested in?
No. They told Cass Culpepper might be interested.
So maybe we should get a hold of Culpepper and tell them about this.
They are employers, exactly. Yeah.
So we'll leave that to Ken. So Haven. Pardon me. Peirce. Peirce, do you mind being the contact with Culpepper for that specifically, since that was sent to you?
Yeah, absolutely. I could do that.
If you need assistance, I'll be absolutely willing to help.
Because we don't want to go against our employers' concerns, It might be a cool mission and everything, but we have to double check.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So why don't you contact them and let them know your information and see if they're interested?
I can do that for sure.
Excellent.
I'll proceed to.
So we have a plan.
Coordinates, Sloan said it might just be a point of interest.
I have no idea what it is.
How frequently has your brother sent you just coordinates, a point of interest?
Never, as far as I know, out of character.
Yeah, never.
I did contact him before we went to where we just came from.
Herculaneum
and
Station. Yeah.
Herculaneum Station, and asked him if he knew anything about it because he runs routes. So I thought maybe he knew some activity, and he had nothing for me. So I don't know if this is in relation to that, or if this is just because he knew I was in the area and he happens to be in the area, or what. There's no context to what these
How
coordinates are.
far away are those coordinates in relation to whatever long-range sensors we have?
Oh, you probably could figure out if there was if something out there, but only if it was heated up. If it was on. You can ping it,
what do I
though.
need to roll to look?
Give me... Perception.
I don't know.
It'd be perception, yeah.
I don't see shit.
You use the sensors to ping that area, and you get nothing back. It's what you get back is garbage. It could be something out there. It could be nothing. It could be just you hitting the wrong button when you were trying to send the type of like scan sweep out there.
Gotcha.
Do I know that he just did this?
Yeah.
Okay,
I wouldn't have said anything. I would have just done it.
Okay. But I'm not up in the bridge. That's why I was asking, because I wouldn't have seen him do it.
Right. Do you guys have your plan?
Yeah, I think so.
All
Let's
right.
start heading to Palace. And then, like I said, I contacted those Mormons to see if they had any information about somebody at Palace we could leave.
Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll have you guys do some small things in prelude or the interludes, and then we'll set you guys up at Palace. So,
Gotcha.
you guys are
Yay.
watching.
You're about to go.
Yeah, I'm probably
Yeah.
going to dip out because I have to head out to the studio. I have to record at
Yes.
1 p.m.
Go
Thanks.
enjoy.
Try not to get you killed.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Be
Thank
careful
you.
on your drive, yada yada. But thanks for hanging.
And wish me luck.
Good luck,
buddy.
dude.
All the-
Luck, sir.
Good luck.
break a leg.
Is it break a leg
Please no.
or is it like break a vocal cord or something like that?
Ooh,
For-
no, it's
Neither of
for
those,
Oh.
please. How's about how's,
break
how's
a leg's
about-
the theater
how's
way of
about
saying good
kick
luck.
some ass?
Kick some ass. There we
Alright.
go. Kick some
I've
ass.
broken my leg before. That is not fun.
Don't break your leg kicking an ass, though. That can happen.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah,
All right, guys,
that's
we'll
bad.
be right back. Don't go anywhere. Wish Haven some good vibes, guys.
See, I love you all.
Good luck.
Later,
Bye.
Haven.
Anywho, let's continue. The crew, you guys are going to Palace. Any kind of last minute? Drones, can you give me a medicine check for all of the patients?
Sure. How many total checks do you want?
2. Uh, 11 is what you're looking for.
14 with 4 stunt points on one.
Whew.
Of which I think I'll just put 3 into the churn.
Just dropping the churn. Okay.
Yeah. So 3 into the churn. Other one, 18 with 5 stunt points. Let's do another 3 into the churn.
Okay. For those of you guys who don't know, there's a unique thing with the Expanse RPG called the churn. Every time they get a 6 on the drama die or use 4 or more, succeed a check with 4 or more stunt points, then they get a drama die, or they get a point to this churn, and the churn pool goes up to a certain number, and then if it churns over, I do a roll and see if it turns over. If it doesn't, then it continues building up, and eventually can reach a point where if it turns over, something major can happen. So, for instance, like, you know, a Martian battleship could show up and try to take them hostage, or take them a prisoner for their for all their misdeeds throughout the the system, or so on and so forth. So, like, bad shit can happen to them with the churn if they don't pay attention to it. So, anyways, both you do fine, and you are good enough to what is it? So Peirce is now down to just injured. I think it's injured. It's injured and then wounded. Yeah, he's just down to injured, and the other guy is actually able to like move around a little bit more. His hole is healing up nicely. Hey. So you guys reach Palace Station. Palace, as you're getting close to, you get a thick Belter accent who comes over and says, "Unidentified ship. Please identify yourself for docking. This is Palace Station Control."
Just identify ourselves as the Actium. We had already plotted a course here, so.
You confirm we will check your flight plan? You filed a flight plan with Tycho.
Yes.
Welcome, Actium. You'll have dock 14-4.
Thank you.
Wouldn't that just be Doc 144?
No, 14-4.
I know how to be a troll.
How dare you?
How dare I?
So it's pretty
First of all,
easy.
how dare you? Second of all,
It's pretty easy to get into the Palace Station Control takes over from the con as you guys get closer to bring you guys in and docks you to the station. The station is an asteroid, but it is a unique asteroid. Jata knows this, and so does Peirce. The rest of you guys may not have heard of this. Is that it's actually built by Belters. It was spun up and built by Belters. No Earth Corp or anything else like it was involved, and it's mostly a manufacturing asteroid. So there might have been some corporations involved. I have to double check that one, but it is unique because it is built for Belters by Belters. So there's like no up or down. It's mostly like lots of the stations are in 0G rather than completely spun. Read the little passage.
My kind of place.
In fact, you know what? Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. I'll read it directly from the book.
All right, he's getting the book so he can actually read what it says about Palace there. Okay. Nerd.
only nerds read books.
Only nerds read books. I want to get back to my RPG, where I'm a spaceman.
Space man.
All right. Earth, Venus, Mars, and the belt. Eros. Europa, Ganymede, Io, Phoebe, Rhea, Titan, Iapetus. Oh, they do not have a station, something on. They're not even on Palace. Anywho.
Contact Green Ronin now. Get him in the Twitter.
Palace is it's like the forge of the belt. It's where a lot of manufacturing is done. So you guys get in. You're not seeing a lot of work. Mostly people in coveralls, overalls, working. There are a lot of heavy machinery moving around. A lot of mechs walking around, carrying things. Like more mechs than you've ever seen in your life. So it's a fairly busy place. What are you guys going to do now that you're docked?
So I didn't do it before. So if I'm alone, I'll find a quiet place. I'll just like send the usual sit rep to F about stuff. So like the selfie that I took and all that kind of stuff with the builder scientist, and just I guess fill him in that it's scientists, the whole Project Sandman thing, and the conditioning of belters basically into this weird kind of like servitude.
Thank you, Dr. Jones.
No sweat.
It's an asteroid. He actually pulled up the
wiki.
So it's the third largest asteroid in the asteroid belt, and the second asteroid discovered by humanity. It hosts one of the oldest stations. Pallas Station is in the outer planets. It's also known for a revolt of its colony. The station itself has a long history of refinement station from mining operations for the belt due to its legacy. It continues to have an infrastructure maintained and upgraded, making use of its older equipment as overflow capacity. This prominence can be seen in the fact that the first lithium was from out of the system sent to Pallas. Okay, so what we're dealing with here is it's a station designed for building things. But anyways, you're sending that message to Fred Johnson. You actually get a wave back from Fred Johnson.
Okay.
And he asks you to track no, he doesn't ask you to track. He gives you a contact information at Pallas.
Okay.
Specifically, for Black Sky is the name of the group. Leader of the Black Sky. His name is Martin.
Just Martin?
Martin S.
Martin S.
He tells you specifically to find him in the administration wing area, and he should be the supervisor of the administration area. He asks you to tell him everything you know about Pope Sanchez and leave the rest to Martin.
Okay.
Thank you, Drones. He linked Martin Scorsese. No.
You said Martin S. I'm trying to help out here.
Perfect.
I send a wave back, just saying will do.
All right, so what do you guys want to do? What is the plan, Stan?
Do I look like the kind of guy with a plan?
You guys are docked with a hold full of angry scientists.
Man.
I'm not moving. For the record.
You're staying up there in the bridge.
Where did we say we were going next, Buster? For your brother, right?
Yeah. But we also,
Okay.
I'm waiting for correspondence as well on the Mormons and if there's somebody safe to leave them with at Pallas.
So while they're doing all of whatever it is they're doing, I'm going to be working on a course that takes enough time for us to go there without being noticed.
You want to go back to Tycho? Where are you going to end up?
Where were we going for the other guys?
Pallas, you mean like the
The bounty
one
is
that,
here.
The bounty is here.
Bounty is here. Oh, okay.
And I think, Sloan, you were trying to work out to leave these Mormons here with protection.
That's what I'm saying. I'm waiting on that correspondence back from Apostle Birch.
So we wait in here until somebody cuts to us then.
That, and we can start our, and also, what's his face? Peirce had contacted Culpepper
Mhm.
about would they be interested in this
Would they
bounty.
be interested in this bounty? So Peirce tells you guys that he has a wave back from them saying that, from Culpepper saying, from Benji, who says, you're free to do this, but he has a job for you when it's done.
Okay.
And just to keep him abreast, tell him everything that you do with these people, because these are the kind of people that they're interested in learning more about.
How do they want the bounty? Like, do they want us to deliver the bounty to them? Because, I mean...
No, they don't care about the bounty. They just want information.
They just want the information. Okay, so they want the info. Okay, so unless anybody has any objections, we can go ahead and take the bounty then. Because I know Jata was the one that expressed that concern. So I kind of look at Jata because I'm like, well, are you okay with doing this now?
That's my look. Okay.
I mean, it's good money. And Culpepper thinks that they can benefit from the information. So maybe, who knows, maybe they'll give us a little bit of a bonus for that information.
All right. Anyway, while we wait, I got some contacts in the area. I want to go ahead and talk to them.
Do you want somebody to go with you just in case?
I'm a big boy. I'll send you a wave if anything happens. I got you guys on my.
Okay.
I got your number. I'm good.
Hey, girl.
Sounds good. Hey, girl, I got your number. Hey,
I got
this
your
is crazy, but here's my number. Call me, maybe.
Let me jit them diggits, as we said in the first
It's
session.
the first episode, yeah. Jit them bigots.
Oh my god, I forgot that.
Cass, Peirce talks to you and says, he's like, you used to work security, right?
Yep.
So mind helping me try to track down these guys? I'm pretty good at bounty work, but, could always use an extra hand.
Sounds good to me. You just need to cut loose our less dead than I was hoping weight.
So, by the way, as you're waiting for those wave back from the Mormons, as you pull into dock and everything gets kind of situated and you're able to exit through the airlock, there is a man in a full suit with a woman who's dressed in very business formal with kind of like with a hand terminal kind of looking things. The guy's kind of sitting there, kind of his hands in front of him in a clasp, and he looks and goes, the Actium, right?
Yes.
I'm here to talk to Captain Sloan. Captain Maddox.
Cap.
What? I turn around. Yes.
You have a gentleman and lady caller.
Are they hot?
You're on speakerphone.
What do they want?
You heard the lady.
We're here from the church. We were told to come talk with her about two scientists, is what I was told. Was it? I want to say not the prophet. It's the apostle.
Birch.
The apostle was very brief in his message.
Okay.
Can we see them in any way? Like, is there a camera or something? So, like,
yeah,
you can see
no,
them
they're
from the
outside the
intercom?
front. You can see them waiting. They're just further away as Cass opened the door to the airlock, you could see them waiting just outside of the views of the cameras.
I'll
Exterior
come-
cameras.
I'll come and
You want to
meet
cross-ref
outside.
them?
Yeah, I am going to do that. I'm
Alright.
going to directly, if I can, call Apostle Birch and ask him to confirm these people's names.
Okay, after about 10 minutes or so of waiting, they're just kind of sitting there, and the woman kind of shows him something on the hand terminal and goes, oh, okay, yeah, okay. And then kind of looks back and Birch comes back and says that would be Brother Gonzalez and Sister Mary.
Okay, and they'll have identification.
Yeah, should have it, is what he said.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure that these weren't people trying to yet again kidnap them. And how can
On
we?
that
How?
note, I'm heading down to the hold since they're stuck outside the airlock anyway.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna ask Apostle Birch while I still have him on the line. Obviously we're not necessarily gonna make it back anytime. We don't know exactly when we'll be at Tycho next. So I guess once they have confirmation that they're in that the assets are in their care and safe, it would be appreciative for you to, send the rest of what you are what you owe for the contract.
Okay. This you send back to
Yeah.
Birch? Okay. Do you want to wait until he gets confirmation, or do you want to go talk with him right away? Because it's about 10
I'll go
minutes
talk with them.
bounce back.
Yeah, I'll go talk with them right away and ask them for identification.
All right. So you stroll on out. Give me a communications check when you're talking with them. Are you trying to to describe how you're talking with them? Are we just walking out and be like, give me your IDs? Or are we just like,
no,
hello?
I'm going to walk out and I'll say, hi, I'm Captain Maddox. And if you don't mind, I'd like to see your IDs. I did talk to Birch and to ask exactly who I would be expecting just now after you contacted, but I would like to see identification to confirm you are who you are and that the assets in question will be safe with you.
Oh, sure, certainly. They hand you their hand terminals and the identification and go, I am Brother Joe Gonzalez. I am not the leader of the church here, but I'm here temporary until they send us a new pastor. And this is my assistant, Miss Maria Mary.
Maria
Sister
Mary.
Maria.
I love it. Okay, and they show identification.
Mm-hmm.
And I can is there like a way for me to confirm that that's like legitimate?
Give me a
Maybe like security or something.
yeah, it would be intelligence security.
Okay, so I just have intelligence, so I'll just roll that. Submit.
Okay. You seem pretty secure about that.
Okay. How much do you know about the situation at hand?
All I know is that there are 2 scientists you were supposed to be bringing to Palace who need to be sent back to Tycho.
Yes. And in what way will they be
We'll
protected and transported?
I guarantee you that I will get them on the first transport out. One of our flock will be joining them over there because he's on his way to visit family members over in Tycho.
Okay. Can I make a recommendation?
Go ahead.
Higher security.
He looks very uncomfortable in this hallway with all these mechs and stuff walking around him. He looks completely out of place. He goes, excuse me?
Yes. A suggestion I would make is that you hire security for that journey.
What are these scientists?
I don't want to tell more than what Brother Birch and I had going, but let's just put it in the way that these people may be at risk of being kidnapped by unsavories. And I think it would be in your interest and in their best interest to hire security or make sure that they are traveled with a well-secured group of people.
Give me a persuasion check. Okay. So you're able to. They sign. They go, oh, sure. He looks over at Sister Mary. And she nods and she starts typing and stuff and kind of leans over and whispers in his ear. And he goes, brother, keep it in business, but yeah, I can talk with them. And it looks like we'll have some security with them for the travel. Is there anything else?
That is it. Let me. I will go inside. I will retrieve them for you. If you need an escort to take them to wherever you're going to take them at the moment.
As you're saying that, you see Mary. Aww. You see Mary kind of furiously tapping on her hand terminal and then shaking her head. We have this.
Okay.
She's typing it in.
She seems pretty confident, so.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let me go fetch them for you, and thank you. I hope, and you know, I hope you keep them safe, and that you all yourselves remain safe as well.
You too.
Mormon blessings be upon you.
They look confused. As you say that, they go,
Okay.
okay.
And then I'm gonna go inside and go approach Suri and Anna and just tell Suri, your people are here to retrieve you and Anna.
You got really quiet. We can still hear you, but you got a lot quieter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I said, is it okay now?
Yeah, you're good. We can still hear you. You went from being like really normal to just like dropped like an octave or something.
That's
like
weird.
that.
Maybe I did that in my
That's
voice,
little.
but I just say to him, I say to Dr. Suri, I go to approach him, and I say, we're at Palace, and you have a brother Gonzalez and a sister Mary here to retrieve you and Anna. I recommended to them that they make sure that there's security to transport you back to Tycho Station. They seem to be very confident in their ability to secure you and keep you safe. And if you're ready, or when you're ready, they're waiting for you just outside.
Yeah. Suri looks at Burgum in the back of you and goes, I think we're ready to go now.
Okay. And what about this this Belter?
You look at him. He kind of goes,
Take
Mino
him to Tycho
Sasa.
with you. You should take him to Tycho with you as well. That's probably where he's from.
He kind of shrugs. He goes, yeah. Milota from Tycho. Whatever you want me to go with the boss man, I can go with the boss man.
So he's in better condition, right? Like he's seen.
Yeah, he's
again.
still hurt, but he's able to walk around. He's just wounded.
But you are from Tycho, right?
Yes, Milota from Tycho.
Okay, then we'll send you along with them so you can go back home as well.
I don't know if Jata's nearby while he's saying this, but he looks at Jata and gives kind of like the belter like nod, which is just this.
Oh,
yeah. It's like it's a nod of the hand kind of thing when you do
all
that.
right.
Yeah.
Like one of those Japanese cat things. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
There's a whole
Luck
like
be upon you.
belter sign language which they invented because of like spacesuits. They use like diving sign language as a base for it. So like the belter nod is this, the belter shrug is this.
All right, it's like Belter thieves can't basically.
Essentially, yeah.
All right.
It's also shorthand for a lot of spacers. Like a lot of people who work in space use that because you can use it in a helmet. Like when you're nodding in a helmet, your helmet's usually like stuck to the suit, so you don't see the helmet move up and down. You just see the helmet.
Yeah,
so
you
you
don't
nod.
see the intricacies.
You
Right.
actually see the
nod.
intricacies, especially if your
Okay.
shield's down and all that kind of stuff because of
Yeah.
sunlight. So
All right. I give him passing recognition. I go and then I walk off.
Yeah.
all right, so they take the belter out with them, and as they go out, you notice that there are two Star Helix security members already
Hey,
besides them, waiting for you guys to show up. Both are armed. They're kind of waiting.
Yeah.
Mary's kind of like nodding to them and talking with them a little bit and kind of giving them directions.
Yeah, and I just escort them out and bid them farewell.
Nod. Good luck to you and yours. And
You as well.
they take the scientists and the belter away from them with them and into the kind of crowd disappear.
Yeah, and I send Birch a message that they've basically been collected.
By the time you send the message, when you go to send the message, you get a message back with the payment for the job.
Okay. And then I do whatever I have to do to split that off into everybody's accounts if I have.
Everyone
access
gets
to.
a +1 to your income.
Nice.
And you leveled up. Yeah.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say, and she got a message from them saying we're about to send them over. They're not there yet.
They're not there yet.
Yeah.
That was kind of.
typical.
That's kind of what
Yeah,
I
I was
like.
expecting that.
That's why I was like, they better identify themselves. And I was not going to take a risk with that bullshit. So yeah, now we have the others to deal with down
Yes.
below.
Yeah.
So I kind of look over to Cass for that. And I'm like, why don't we give it like an hour or two and then we'll release them?
Agreed.
Okay.
All right.
So we kick it for a little bit.
Yeah, that way, the other people have time to get secured and be in a safe spot.
So, like I said, I'm just gonna go out for a bit, stretch me legs.
Fine enough.
Sasa,
Like we said, let us know if you need
Okay.
anything.
All right. Does anybody need anything? I got some money. You good? No. All right.
Who are
so-
you and what have you done with Jita?
Yeah. What are you up to?
Yeah. Now they're all curious because you just offered to buy them stuff.
I just walk off.
Precious.
So you're going to the administration, Jata?
Yeah, I look around for the admin office. I assume I know where that is.
Yeah,
and,
it's pretty obvious. It's a pretty big entry. You see a lot of people lined up to come in, and they're making orders, and some people dropping off materials from the asteroid belts and stuff like that. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. At the admin office, I look for the nearest guy who has a black sky uniform, and I say, I'm looking for Martinez.
There's no one with a black sky uniform, but you do see someone who's open you can talk to.
All right. I go, oye, me looking for Martinez. Is he around?
He goes, sis, yeah. 1 minute, and kind of types of thing. Goes, go sit over there, brother.
All right. He's expecting me. Tell him that his secretary, Mr. F, organized the meeting. I'll be over there. I don't sit down. I stand by the door.
Okay. So after a few minutes, a tall, darker skinned guy, face full of tattoos, super short hair, like buzzed cut. Looks like the dude like he is jacked. He's tall but super strong. He's been working a lot. He looks, that kind of the comical idea of that Superman just has to wear glasses and suddenly takes them off and suddenly he's Superman. But the thing is walking around like this jacked dude with it's kind of like that. He looks totally out of place. He's dressed like an administrator, but he looks like he
So he's
benches
Shaquille O'Neal in a suit.
Yeah, he's benches spaceships for fun kind of thing.
Right.
And she points it over to you, and he nods, and he walks over to you and goes, you work for Mr. F.
Yeah, that's right.
Mr. F sent me a wave. He said, and there's his man, his Mr. J was coming to talk to me. Are you Mr. J?
Mr. J, that's me. Yes, Mr. J, that's me. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. J. How you doing, Put?
Because Miss Bratna, I take it that you have some news for me.
Yeah, that's right. So, I didn't tell him. I tell him, I basically rat the entire situation, what's happened. And I tell him about the Mormons. I explain to him, they've been picked up, where they're going. I talk to them about Belters specifically that have been the ones who were kidnapped. Belters scientists, I give them names of the scientists that have just been released to the Normans.
Mhm.
And, I'm just doing my due diligence. I'm not trying to go against the group. I'm just trying to make sure that the OPA are informed.
Okay.
Yeah.
He nods. He listens to the whole thing. He kind of nods a little bit and goes, "Good to know.
Hmm.
You've done good for your brothers and sisters in the belt. You will take care of this." And he kind of slips you a hand terminal and he says, "For your good work, enjoy it, brother." And walks away.
Imtanate.
And you got
It's a keyboard cat gif.
you get it's a inventory. It's an inventory for a improvement you can make to your. Or it's like a receipt, but kind of like a where you can go pick it up at a local like place, like a layaway almost. And it's a kit to increase your assault rifle to what is that bonus? Let's just say it's a one bonus of your choice to increase it. So like you can like add one new like make it very fine or make it like armor piercing or something like that. So
Okay. All right. I say imtanating, brata. OPA for the win or whatever. And and I walk off.
all right. So after about an hour or so, you guys are going to deal with this is while Jata's still out there talking, kind of dealing with it. You guys, what are you guys going to do with your angry scientists on the station?
Gonna get on the intercom of the hold.
Mm-hmm.
Like, paging Dr. Drake. I'm just being an asshole. Paging Dr. Drake. If you could muzzle your attack dogs, I'm coming down.
You see on the cameras her kind of pushing all of the scientists to the side and kind of nods, looks up at one of the cameras and goes.
I open the hatch and slide down the ladder. Doctor.
As you slide down the ladder, she says, "I assume we're docked somewhere. I felt the docking clamps attach."
Indeed. Welcome. And I start tapping in on the console on the airlock.
Mm-hmm.
To Palace Station.
Okay, so because the cargo airlock is also attached, so if you wanted to let them out through the cargo airlock.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the plan.
We need to tell her the agreement first.
You might
Yeah,
want to
no.
pressurize it first.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh.
I didn't actually know it wasn't pressurized. I assumed it was like a red light or something, but
Yeah, there'd be a red light saying it's not pressurized.
in the opening sequence, I'm just like,
Yeah, so you say you're opening it up and say, "Welcome to the Palace Station." So the doors slide open, and she looks back, and everyone else looks confused. She goes, "Is that it?"
almost. Just want to level with you. We're letting you go out of the kindness of our hearts. That being said, we have every piece of data we pulled off of that station. So if anything happens to this crew or this ship, Pope Sanchez's dirty laundry gets aired.
Listen, I don't care what happens to you. And I know you've got our data. But if we're civil about it, and she walks up to you very kind of slowly, looks at you, her demeanor changes from being very confrontive to more soft and goes, "We can make it worth your while if you can give us that data."
I look at my hand terminal. Define worth our while.
We'll be in touch. Just don't give it to anybody else. And it might get you something very special for your efforts at saving all our data.
That sounds like an amiable agreement.
Because we did allow her the actual convenience of saving her data.
I mean, we have the copies, not them
Yeah.
yet. But yeah.
I think it was Jata who stole all the data, or it was
It was Jata.
Yeah.
Probably Mark Jameson.
Yeah, it stole all the data from the archives. She kind of nods and looks you up and down and says, "See you later, Arthur." And she gestures for her scientists. They all kind of like scramble out of the airlock, and kind of just seems to disappear into the crowd. Give me a perception check, though.
All right. Perception.
And you too, Mark.
Would intuition?
I don't
be
like where this goes.
You can
relevant
use
here?
intuition. You can use intuition.
Okay.
Well, damn, boys.
15.
Okay, you
13
both.
with 6 stunt points.
You will succeed. So if you want to use the stunt points, tell me.
What exactly type of stunt points might I use?
Yeah.
Investigation?
Mhm.
Go all the way up with breakthrough.
You all have all six.
So
don't you?
5 of them.
Five
No,
of them.
5. I'm not using all 6. Using 5.
Okay. So. You gain only information from some form, but incontrovertible proof, and you reduce the total number of leads by. Okay, so, Cass, you notice there are some people who shouldn't be there, and as they file out into the station, you see these people kind of like leaning against this thing. They're way too interested in what's going on, like something about them just seems off. You've seen this kind of behavior before, and then they kind of shove off and they start walking towards these, like with these guys. And you notice it as well, Mark, but you start noticing that they're armed based off of like the exterior cameras that you see. You notice a couple of them, they're armed, kind of subtly armed, like the like a coat brushes past and you see like a gun in the waistband and that kind of stuff.
Do they look like they're like falling into step with them or following them and they don't know it?
Following them and they don't know it.
And I quickly hand terminal to Cass. Hey, they're armed.
God damn it. Okay, as soon as I see those guys, I jog out into the crowd and I'm like, Doc, one more thing.
Okay, she stops and turns around and looks back at you. And as they stop, one of the guys that you notice who are following stop as well and just try to look casual. They're not very good at it.
I pull out one of the spare hand terminals that we've gotten. I throw a few credits onto it, and while I'm doing that, I also jot down "You're being followed, guys in coats." Like quick description.
Yeah.
Don't forget the word armed.
Yeah, armed. And I throw my hand terminal number into there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, just to get you on your feet until you can get back in touch with your people. And I hand it to her.
She looks at it, she looks at it, she looks down at it, looks at you, looks down, and goes, and nods and goes, "Thank you. Again, we'll be in touch." And she walks around and she kind of calls her scientists to kind of like cluster around her as they're walking. And as you're like standing there and as they're walking away, one of the guys in coats walks up, brushes past you, but grabs you by the arm and like leans in close and goes, "Bratna, don't worry about them. We got these." And then let's go. And then walks and keeps walking.
I bet I know who that is.
Oh my god. Okay. So many pulls.
Welcome to the universe of the Expanse, where everyone wants to try to get on top.
I bet it's that OPA dudes that know that something was going on over there. Oh shoot, they're in trouble. But
I'm not saying that Jata and I may have accidentally worked at cross purposes here, but
well, you don't know that because you
Yes.
only kind of know that Jata is part of the you're the only one who suspects that he's part of the OPA.
yeah.
I send a wave saying I'm on my way
well-
back.
While they're doing all this nonsense, I'm going to seal the ship, not from our crew, but from like just general passerbys, and head down to the cargo bay. I just want to look around and make sure they didn't leave any surprises for us.
Give me a perception check.
Sure. 12 with 4 stun points.
No, nothing.
Nothing. Good.
Nothing. Yeah.
Good. Then I'd like to use. So was that a success then?
Yes.
Then 3 to the churn.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay. I have to double check that, but I think it's if you use more than 4 stunt points and if you get a 6 on the drama die, it automatically goes
Correct.
up if you get 6 on the drama die.
Yeah, 6 on the drama die, and if you spend more than 4 stunt points. Not if you earn more than 4, just if you spend.
You spend more. Yeah. So, all right. With that, I'm going to call that a game. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We'll pick this up. More intrigue and interesting stuff going on. We'll pick it up next time with them looking through. You guys looking for those bounties and maybe figuring out what happens to Dr. Drake and her scientists, and maybe even figuring out what's going on with Sloan's brother. All sorts of interesting things are happening now. You should be watching. And if you haven't watched it thus far, you should watch us on YouTube or catch us up on the podcast.